it's been some time since my last video. Long breaks in making YouTube videos usually mean that I'm fine but super busy with my work as a freelance illustrator. Getting back to the subject at hand. Indo-Saracenic architecture is also known as plenty of other terms, and just like many other architectural styles of the 18th and 19th century, Indo-Gothic was a revivalist and eclectic style. Sounds sophisticated. A revivalist style simply means that it borrowed visual aspects from past styles and updated them with the use of contemporary building materials and functional solutions. The most well-known revivalist styles are Neo-Classical and Neo-Gothic styles. Eclectic architecture in turn refers to buildings combining diverse historical and cultural references in one structure. It was a peculiar revolt against the strict architectural principles. Clearly, everyone rebels in their own way. Once we're all on the same page, we can focus on Indo-Saracenic buildings. They were a combination of Neo-Gothic or Neo-Classical layout, meaning floor plans, and native Indian decorations borrowed from Mughal architecture and the architecture of Hindu temples. If you don't have a clear image in your mind, don't worry, I'll explain these features. If I would have to describe Mughal architecture in 2 words, I'd say Taj Mahal. Large bulbous domes, slender minarets at the corners, clearly visible arches, and delicate ornamentation are the defining characteristics of Mughal buildings. Hindu temples, on the other hand, are adorned with sculptures and carvings throughout their exteriors and interiors. Popular motifs found in Hindu temples include flowers, mandala designs, and other symbolic motifs. Multiple towers and spires are also common features of Hindu temples, which are obviously also decorated with ornate carvings and sculptures, and sometimes even covered in gold leaves. The Indo-Saracenic style originated in the late 18th century and was primarily designed by British architects. This eclectic style combined modern construction techniques with Indian decorative elements and was initially employed for public and government buildings, law courts, railway stations, universities, and other educational institutions. However, it wasn't uncommon to see palaces built in this style as well. Substructures might be composed of tech novelties such as iron, steel, poured concrete, and precast concrete elements, though facades were often covered with traditional stone. This newly acquired freedom of design resulted in impressive and maybe even overwhelming buildings, such as this railway station, Victoria Terminus in Mumbai. We can clearly see here Romanesque elements, Gothic details, and Indian influences. Indo-Saracenic style was intended to be a grand imperial style, spreading the notion of an invincible British Empire. Architecture often has some hidden meanings, and although this ideology can be questionable, buildings created in this spirit are truly epic. They were built to impress. For instance, railways were a new and exciting development that signaled progress and modernity. Railway stations were built to reflect this image with impressive architecture that showcased the latest technological advancements. As they say, the first impression is crucial, and epically designed railway stations help to make a lasting impact on visitors. If you're enjoying this video so far and want to stay updated on future releases, be sure to subscribe, as I'm not able to make them on a regular basis, which makes them easy to miss. Now let's take a look at a brief glossary of typical elements found in Indo-Saracenic architecture and its predecessors, namely South Asian and Arabic architecture. Bulbous domes or onion domes. Chhajja, overhanging eaves or roofs often supported by decorative, quite massive brackets. Chhatri, domed pavilions on the roofline. Originally, they served as a canopy above tombs, but in Indo-Saracenic architecture, they are purely decorative elements. Horseshoe arches. Iwan, rectangular entrance space entirely open on the front and surrounded by walls on the 3 other sides. It's usually highlighted by a giant decorative arch. Jali, a decorative openwork screen letting light and fresh air in while minimizing heat and rain. Mashrabiya, an oriel window enclosed with openwork screens. Just like jali, it was used to catch fresh air and light without overheating the interior. Additionally, jars of water placed there contributed to evaporative cooling. Minarets. Originally, these slender towers were used in Muslim culture to issue the call to prayer, but in Indo-Saracenic architecture they were mostly decorative elements. They could have one or several balconies and a lantern at the top. Scalloped arches or multifoil arches. Voussoirs in contrasting colors. The contrasting colors part is clear. Voussoirs in turn are stones building an arch, in this case usually a semicircular or a rounded horseshoe arch.